The next section we're going to talk about won't take anywhere near as long, but we would like to talk about Peter's responsibilities in this film, or lack thereof. One of the defining features of Spider-Man is his sense of responsibility and his normal everyday people problems coinciding with his superhero responsibilities. In this movie, Peter has a grand total of one normal, relatable problem coinciding with his superhero responsibilities. And that is his one-sided crush on the character Liz Allen. The movie makes it very clear he doesn't know anything about Liz. He doesn't like her for any other reason other than she is smart and she is pretty.
Should I tell Liz that I'm Spider-Man?
Who's Liz?
Who's Liz? she's she's the best. She's awesome. She's just a girl who goes to my school. And I really want to tell her, but it's kind of weird, you know. Hey, I'm Spider-Man.
What's weird about that?
What if she's expecting someone like Tony Stark? I mean, imagine how disappointed she'd be when she sees me.
Well, if I were her, I wouldn't be disappointed at all.
Thanks, Karen. It's really nice to have somebody to talk to.
To be fair, it is a crush, so this type of shallowness is to be expected. However, the movie doesn't really give us any reason to care about their so-called relationship, because outside of Peter's point of view, she has no real defining personality traits. Something that's worth noting is with the character of Liz Allen that is in the comics, Liz is white with blonde hair, whereas in the movie, she's black. One can't help but wonder if she was made this way because the actress was really the best choice for the role, or if casting a black actress as Liz Allen was just a ploy to make the reveal that the Vulture is her father more shocking, as he is not black in this movie. Not that it is completely unusual for interracial relationships, but when the character in the comics looks like this, and the character in the movie looks like this, you kinda can't help but wonder. To be completely fair, in the comics, Liz isn't exactly a super defining personality either. But the movie keeps bringing her up repeatedly as though she is important, so you would think that as the movie goes on, they would give her more personality, but they don't. In fact, let's take a small detour to talk about the casting of this movie for a second. Take a look at this group of characters, and say you weren't someone who has seen these movies and know exactly who these characters are supposed to represent. Would you be able to spot which one of these characters is supposed to be Flash Thompson? No? How about MJ? No? You sure? No? Yeah, this is a really baffling thing with this movie. For whatever reason, many of the actors in this movie are of a different ethnicity and even age compared to the characters they are supposed to be representing. Flash Thompson, in most media, is depicted as a big, strong sports player, jock-type character, who is usually a football player and a bully. Some incarnations have him being more of a basketball player, but you get the idea, he's into sports. He picks on Peter Parker because he's smaller and weaker than he is, and because he's a huge nerd. They were in a normal high school with social groups and stereotypes for those groups. But in this movie, all of the child characters, go to a school for the intellectually gifted. All of them are nerds. Making Flash's bullying not only make no logical sense, but adding no real character diversity between them. When everyone is a nerd, no one's a nerd. This particular section is meant to go over the MCU incarnation of the characters, without comparing them to other incarnations, but it's worth pointing out these differences because not only do none of these characters look like the characters they are supposed to be representing, aside from Peter himself, but none of these characters act like the characters they are supposed to be representing. We'll get into this in more detail when we talk about the side characters, but let's get back to talking about Liz. Liz Allen in this movie is a smart, outgoing girl who has actual responsibilities but doesn't shy away from having fun. She is with Peter on the decathlon team, and that's about it as far as personality traits.
Liz, don't overwork him.
Strontium, barium, vibranium.
Very good, Peter. Glad to be back.
Glad to be back. Hey, Liz.
Perfect timing. I'm gonna go swimming. Come on. Hey, Peter. Hey.
I was gonna go study, in the business center.
Peter, you don't need to study. You're like the smartest guy I've ever met. And besides, a rebellious group activity the day before competition is good for morale. Well, I read that in a TED Talk, so I heard it in a TED Talk. And I read a coaching book.
Wow, this is really important to you.
Yeah, it's our future. I'm not gonna screw it up. Besides, we rated the minibar and these candy bars were like $11. Let's put your trunks on. Come on. I'm coming.
Hey,
Hey.
I thought you had calculus for the period.
Yeah, I was just doing some homecoming stuff.
Hey, look, I just wanted to apologize about the whole decathlon thing.
It's
I
fine.
Really.
Last week, decathlon was the most important thing, but I almost died.
No, I just mean that it was not cool, especially because I like you.
You know?
You do?
They're terrible.
Yeah, you'd be surprised. I gotta get to class, but I'd say we should hang out, but I'm gonna be in detention for ever. But I guess you already have a date to homecoming.
Actually, I'm so busy planning and I never really got around to that part, so.
You wanna go with me?
Yeah.
Really? I mean, great, cool.
Cool.
I'm actually going that way.
It's really odd how the movie seems to bring her up repeatedly as though she is something very important, but simultaneously gives her nothing to do. Gives her no real personality, and her and Peter going to homecoming together almost has no real point in the movie. As soon as Peter and her get to the dance, he leaves to go take down the Vulture with no real repercussions for doing so. She's not mad at him for anything. Like, okay, she's a little frustrated, but, you know, she doesn't slap him or anything for leaving her at the dance. You could honestly cut Liz Allen from this movie entirely, and very little about the movie would change. There's really not much that would change. All that would change is just some bits of dialogue where Peter is pining over Liz. Pretty much the reveal scene for Vulture would have to change, but, like, that scene already makes no sense to begin with, so it doesn't matter. And some miscellaneous scenes with her and Peter would have to be gone, but that's about it. Like, all of those scenes together, I don't even think makes up 10 minutes. And to be fair, this is not a problem with the actress. I'm sure she's a fine enough person. This is a problem with how the movie is written. Peter's crush on this girl is his only real, normal, everyday person problem, and that is supposed to ground the fantastical nature of Spider-Man in reality, but it's barely even a footnote in the movie. One might point out that we said Peter has no extracurricular activities or responsibilities, but then we just contradicted ourselves by saying he's on the decathlon team. Well, yes and no. Peter did apparently have a lot of extracurriculars prior to the events of the movie, but he quit all of those extracurriculars because of his idea that he is now basically an Avenger, so if they need him, he can't be stuck in school doing who knows what.
Peter, it's nationals. Is there no way you could take one weekend off?
I can't go to Washington because if Mr. Stark needs me, then I have to make sure that I'm here.
You've never even been in the same room as Tony Stark.
Wait, what's happening?
Peter's not going to Washington.
No.
Why not?
Really? Right before nationals?
He already quit marching band and robotics lab. I'm not obsessed with him, just very observant.
Hey, Spita! Guys, Peter? Yeah, I was hoping maybe I could rejoin the team.
No way. You can't just quit on us, stroll up, and be welcomed back by everyone.
Hey, welcome back, Peter. Flash, you're back to first alternate.
What?
But we have a Spanish quiz.
Ned, I'm probably never gonna come back here. Mr. Stark is moving the Avengers upstate, so when I bring this guy in,
Dude, you wanna be a high school dropout?
I am so far beyond high school right now.
Parker.
Anyway, great things are about to happen. What is that?
I'm at band practice.
That's odd. Happy told me you quit band 6 weeks ago. What's up?
I gotta go. End call.
Hey.
Apparently, he was a member of the school's band and several other clubs prior to the events of the movie. But as he has quit them before the events of the movie, there's not really much point in counting them as extracurricular responsibilities in this movie, since he quit them before the movie even started. Peter's motivation in this movie is simply to prove himself to Iron Man and the Avengers, and then become a full-fledged Avenger.
Don't do anything I would do, and definitely don't do anything I wouldn't do. There's a little gray area in there, and that's where you operate.
What does that mean that I'm an Avenger?
No.
You have reached the voicemail box of
Happy Hogan.
Hey, Happy. Here's my report for tonight. I stopped a Grand Theft bicycle, couldn't find the owner, so I just left a note. I hope this lost old Dominican lady. She was really nice and bought me a churro. I'm just, feel like I could be doing more. You know, I'm just curious when the next real mission is gonna be. So yeah, just call me back. It's Peter. Parker. Why would I tell him about the churro?
Is Stark made you that? Are you an Avenger?
Yeah, basically.
Can't you just be a friendly neighborhood Spider-Man?
But I'm ready for more than that now.
No, you're not.
That is not what you thought when I took on Captain America.
Trust me, kid. Cap wanted to lay you out. He would have.
There's a ton of other subsystems in here. But they're all disabled by the training wheels protocol.
Training wheels protocol. Turn it off.
I don't think that's a good idea. I mean, they're probably blocked for a reason.
Come on, man. I don't need training wheels. Sick of him treating me like a kid all the time. It's not cool.
But you are a kid.
Yeah, a kid who can stop a bus with his bare hands.
And, yeah, I really want to tell her, but it's kind of weird, you know? Hey, I'm Spider-Man.
What's weird about that?
What if she's expecting someone like Tony Stark? I mean, imagine how disappointed she'd be when she sees me.
But we have a Spanish quiz.
Ned, I'm probably never gonna come back here. Mr. Stark is moving the Avengers upstate, so when I bring this guy in,
Dude, you wanna be a high school dropout?
I am so far beyond high school right now.
Parker.
Previously on Peter Screws the Pooch, I tell you to stay away from this. Instead, you hacked a multi-million-dollar suit so you could sneak around behind my back doing the one thing I told you not to do.
Is everyone okay?
No thanks to you.
No thanks to me? Those weapons were out there and I tried to tell you about it, but you didn't listen. None of this would have happened if you would just listen to me. If you even cared, you'd actually be here.
I did listen, kid. Who do you think called the FBI, huh? Do you know that I was the only one who believed in you? Everyone else said I was crazy to recruit a 14-year-old kid.
I'm 15.
No, this is where you zip it, all right? The adult is talking. What if somebody had died tonight? Different story, right? Because that's on you.
And if you died, act like that's on me. I don't need that on my conscience.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
I'm sorry.
Sorry doesn't
I understand. I just wanted to be like you.
Then I wanted you to be better. Okay, it's not working out. I'm gonna need the suit back.
For how long?
Forever. Yeah, let's
No, please.
Let's have it.
You don't understand. The thing is, this is all I have. I'm nothing without this suit.
If you're nothing without this suit, then you shouldn't have it, okay? God, I sound like my dad.
Also start.
What? What happened?
Just I could work really hard, and he would, but screw it up.
Let me just say that this isn't exactly a bad idea. However, this is his only real motivation in the movie. And by the end of the movie, he goes back on this motivation for seemingly no reason.
To the team?
Yeah, anyway. It's about 50 reporters behind that door. Real ones, not bloggers. When you're ready, why don't you try that on? And I'll introduce the world the newest official member of the Avengers, Spider-Man. Yeah, give that a look. So after the press conference, Happy will show you your room, your new quarters. Where's he between? He's next to Vision?
Yeah, Vision's not big on doors.
It's fun.
4 walls.
He'll fit right in.
Thank you, Mr. Stark. But I'm good.
You're good? You good? How are you good?
But I'd rather just stay on the ground for a little while. Friendly neighborhood Spider-Man. Somebody's got to look after the little guy, right?
You turning me down? You better think about this. Look at that. Look at me. Last chance, yes or no?
No.
Okay. It's kind of a Springsteen-y, working class hero vibe that I dig. Happy will take you home. Yeah?
Yeah. Am I waiting in the car? Give me a minute.
Thank you, Mr. Stark.
Yes, Mr. Parker. Very well.
See you. That was a test, right? There's nobody back there?
Yes, you passed. All right, skedaddle there.
Thank you,
Young
Mr. Stark.
buck.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Told you he's a good kid.
At no point in this movie does Peter really question whether or not being an Avenger or impressing Mr. Stark is really what he wants to do. As a matter of fact, with just a small change, this motivation would actually work really well. Early on in this movie, Tony mentions that stopping street-level criminals like the Shocker is below the Avengers' pay grade.
What were you thinking?
The guy with the wings is obviously the source of the weapons. I gotta take him down.
Take him down now, huh? Steady, Crockett. There are people who handle this sort of thing.
The Avengers?
No. Just a little below their pay grade.
Anyway.
The movie could have been about Peter realizing that the Avengers take care of big threats while leaving common criminals to roam the streets, because they don't think they're important enough to deal with. Peter could have had a flashback or some kind of implication that if he joined the Avengers, then criminals, like the ones who killed Uncle Ben, would be allowed to go free and possibly take other people's loved ones away from them, the way that one criminal took Uncle Ben away from him. Peter then turning down Tony and not wanting to join the Avengers would hold much more emotional weight, especially if he told him off as mentioning that Tony is a selfish, pompous jerk, but if they ever need help, they can call their friendly neighborhood Spider-Man. Within the movie itself, Peter does lose the spider suit given to him by Tony Stark, but this doesn't really seem to affect his motivation at all. He still goes around doing the same thing he was doing before, just now in a much less technological suit. It's important to note, however, that the official tie-in comics for this movie mention that after Peter gets the suit taken away by Tony, that he gives up being Spider-Man. it shows even more the irresponsible, immature, and idiotic nature of this incarnation of Peter. These aren't really canon to the movies, but they are written in the manner that this is how this Peter would act, and the fact that it's really not that hard to imagine this Peter saying this is a big, big problem here. Peter Parker's motivations in this movie are entirely focused around Tony Stark and the Avengers and not their responsibilities as a hero, as a person. The weird thing is, this movie seems almost aware of the fact that he has no real responsibilities or consequences for his actions, which is why scenes like this are played for laughs.
Hey, it's Peter.
Guys,
Peter? Yeah, I was hoping maybe I could rejoin the team.
No way. You can't just quit on us, stroll up, and be welcomed back by everyone.
Hey, welcome back, Peter. Flash, you're back to first alternate.
What?
Consequences are what ground the fantastical nature of Spider-Man. So the fact that Peter does so much crap in this movie that should cause consequences to fall into his lap, but just don't, is very, very stupid. Peter abandons his friend at a party. Nothing happens. Peter skips out on detention, and nothing happens. Ned finds out his secret identity. Nothing happens. In fact, if we skip past this movie a little bit, Aunt May finds out his secret identity, and nothing happens. More on that later. Peter just casually strolls through this entire movie with no consequences to anything. He even gets the suit taken away from him, which you could argue is a consequence, but one, he gets the suit back later for doing the very thing that got it taken away in the first place, so once again, nothing happens. And two, we'll get to that. How about we take a little bit of a detour to talk about the villain of this movie? A lot of people really seem to love the Vulture and praised him as being one of the best villains in the MCU. The Vulture, played brilliantly by Michael Keaton, famous for playing characters such as Batman and Beetlejuice, is sadly not a very good character. The reason why he isn't a very good character is because of his motivations and how he functions as a weapons dealer make absolutely no sense. Let's break it down step by step. In the beginning of the movie, he's just your average everyday guy tasked by the city to clean up the wreckage of the first Avengers movie until the Department of Damage Control, which was started up and funded by Tony Stark, comes in and takes his job right from under his nose. Adrian Toomes, as he was then called, mentions that he and his crew could become homeless if the DDC does this, but the DDC says that it is out of their control. This, however, is illegal, as since he was hired by the city to clean the stuff up, he and his crew would have to have been given reparations for all the stuff they bought for this job, and they could have sued for tons of money as a result, but instead they decide to go straight into weapons manufacturing using the alien technology and materials from the other major battles in the MCU, such as parts from Ultron. The movie later reveals that this operation has been going on for 8 years, with them stealing various things from the DDC in order to get fresh parts, and they somehow have been doing this for 4 years without being caught by either S.H.I.E.L.D., the FBI, or the Avengers. It's impossible that they would not have been caught doing this, as organizations such as this that ship materials and such have inventory counts of what it is they are shipping. The Vultures, as I'm going to call them, have been stealing from this company presumably at least once a month for 4 years. There's no way that they would not have contacted somebody about this. It's also weird because the DDC is mentioned to have been created and financed by Tony Stark. So in essence, they're stealing from Tony Stark. And something tells us that Stark would not just sit around on his iron butt while somebody steals his tech. Because you know what happened to the last guy who did that? There's also the fact that the Vultures are using cellular devices, presumably to get in touch with their buyers and to communicate with each other, which means that the FBI and S.H.I.E.L.D. would definitely be listening into something like this. Yeah, S.H.I.E.L.D. kinda alone fucks up a whole lot of criminal activity in this world, because like a lot of them would have to use some kind of cellular devices like, you know, cell phones, and yeah, there's no way that they aren't getting word on this. Additionally, the criminals that they are selling these weapons to likely would rat them out if they ever got caught. And the criminals they are selling these weapons to aren't exactly being subtle with the uses of these weapons. We see this in the movie several times, not only when Peter is facing the criminals in the Avengers mask, but also by the first Shocker, who is openly using these weapons in the open, which is what alerted Peter to go to them in the first place. Shocker then uses a couple of these weapons when trying to get away from Peter in a truck in open view of anyone who might see them. There's also the fact that Tony Stark, ever since the first Avengers movie, has become increasingly more paranoid about any possible alien activity. There is no way he isn't monitoring any unidentified flying objects, such as the Vulture flying around with his giant loud mechanical wings. The Vulture was a neat idea, likely chosen because they wanted to pick a Spider-Man villain who hasn't yet shown up in a live-action movie. But the second you put any amount of thought into how he functions as a villain or his motivations, everything about him fall apart. Especially as, despite being a Spider-Man villain, he is entirely motivated by Tony Stark. The entire reason that he is a weapons arms dealer is because of Tony Stark. He is stealing from Tony Stark. Even later on in the movie, when someone fucks up, his first thought is, what if Iron Man or the Avengers come rolling in?
Your superiors, who the hell are they?
The joint venture between Stark Industries and the federal government, the Department of Damage Control, will oversee the collection and storage of alien and other exotic materials.
So not assholes who made this mess are getting paid to clean it up.
Yeah, it's all rigged.
Experts estimate there are over 1,500 tons of exotic materials scattered throughout the tri-state area.
Hey, Chief. We still have another load from yesterday. We're supposed to turn this in, right?
I ain't hauling it.
Too bad. Could have made some pretty cool stuff from all that alien junk.
I'll tell you what. Let's keep it. The world's changing. It's time we change too. How many times have I told you not to fire them out in the open? Hey, you said move the merchandise. Under the radar. Under the radar. That's how we survive. If you bring damage control or the Avengers down here, we're through. You're up there wearing that goofy thing, lighting up cars, calling yourself the Shocker of the Shocker. I shock people. What is this, pro wrestling? Whatever, old man. Come on.
8 years. Not a word from the feds. Nothing from those Halloween costume-wearing bozos up there in Stark Tower. And then all of a sudden, this little bastard in red tights shows up. He thinks he can tear down everything I built. Really? Understand how the world works.
Yeah, but I understand that selling weapons to criminals is wrong.
How do you think your buddy Stark paid for that tower? Or any of his little toys? Those people, Pete, those people up there, the rich and the powerful, they do whatever they want. Guys like us, you and me, they don't care about us. We build their roads and we fight all their wars and everything. They don't care about us. We have to pick up after them. We have to eat their table scraps. That's how it is. I know you know what I'm talking about, Peter.
Why are you telling me this?
Because I want you to understand.
But now that we talked about the villains, let's talk about some of the side characters. For the sake of clarification, we're not going to go over all of the side characters, just a handful of them. But they are all major characters that are either important to Spider-Man or important to this movie. The first one we'll talk about is Ned Leeds. Ned is a very confusing character. This movie, and the rest of the MCU appearances of this character for that matter, cannot make up their goddamn mind on whether or not this character is smart or stupid. This character is apparently smart enough to be able to hack into Tony Stark's systems in this spider suit and disable multiple safety protocols, but is also stupid enough to not talk about Peter's secret identity in multiple public situations where anyone can hear him, and multiple situations where people definitely did hear him.
Okay, wait then. How do you do this and a Stark internship?
This is a Stark internship.
Ah. You got bit by a spider? Can it bite me? Well, it probably would have hurt, right? You know what? Whatever. Even if it did hurt, I would let it bite me. Maybe. How much did it hurt?
The spider's dead, Ned.
Could have died. Do you lay eggs?
What? No.
Can you spit venom? Can you summon an army of spiders?
No, Ned.
The Sokovia Accords were put in place.
How far can you shoot your webs? Shut up. If I was you, I would stand on the edge of a building and just shoot it as far as I can.
Shut up, Ned.
Hi, I'm Captain America. Whether you're in the classroom or on the
You know him too?
Yeah, we met.
Success
I stole the shield.
or failure. Today, my good friend.
Do Avengers need to pay taxes? What does Hulk smell like? I bet he smells nice. Shut up. Is Captain America cool? Or is he like a mean old grandpa?
Ned, just shh, okay?
Hey, can I be your guy in the chair?
What?
You know how there's a guy with a headset telling the other guy where to go? Like if you're stuck in a burning building, I could tell you where to go because there'd be screens around me and I could, swivel around them because I could be your guy in the chair.
Ned, I don't need a guy in the chair.
Looking good, Parker. Hey, thanks for bailing on me.
Yeah, well, something came up.
Oh, what is that?
I don't know. Some guy tried to vaporize me with it.
Seriously?
Yeah.
Awesome. I mean, not awesome. Totally uncool, that guy. So scary.
Well, look, I think it's a power source.
Yeah, but it's connected to all these microprocessors. That's an inductive charging plate. That's what I use to charge my toothbrush.
Whoever's making these weapons is obviously combining alien tech with ours.
That is literally the coolest sentence anyone has ever said. I just want to thank you for letting me be part of your journey into this amazing...
He is on the outside.
Peter, no Spider-Man!
Chloe.
You're right.
Crap. Come on.
They stopped.
Huh. Maryland?
What's there?
I mean, I don't know. Evil lair.
You have a lair?
Dude, a gang with alien guns run by a guy with wings, yeah, they have a lair.
Badass. But how are you gonna get there if it's like 300 miles away? Peter, why are we removing the tracker from your suit?
Because I gotta follow these guys to their boss before they move again. And I don't really want Mr. Stark to know about it.
There's a ton of other subsystems in here.
Hmm?
But they're all disabled by the training wheels protocol.
What? Training wheels protocol? Turn it off.
I don't think that's a good idea. I mean, they're probably blocked for a reason.
Come on, man, I don't need training wheels. Just again treating me like a kid all the time. It's not cool.
But you are a kid.
Yeah, a kid who can stop a bus with his bare hands.
Peter, I just don't think this is a great idea. I mean, what if this is illegal?
Look, please, this is my chance to prove myself. I can handle it, Ned, come on.
I really don't think this is a good idea.
The guy in the chair.
Don't do that.
Come on.
Are you okay?
Hey, Ned, where's the glowy thing? The glowy thing!
Don't worry, it's safe. It's in my backpack.
No, Ned, listen! No, Ned, the glowy thing is dangerous!
You missed the Capcom.
Hey, Ned, listen to me!
We're the Washington Monument now. You gotta...
Hey, how you doing? Don't worry about it, I got you.
Yes! Yes!
Hey, big guy, quit moving around!
Sorry, sir. So sorry. Dude, what is it like being famous when nobody knows it's you?
Crazy, dude.
It's crazy. Should we tell everyone?
No.
Should I tell him?
No, dude, no, that's not a good idea.
Okay, well, we're gonna go to class.
I'm not going to class.
You hear me? Go for Ned.
Ned, I need you to track my phone for me.
Yeah, but where is it? Genius move. Okay, he just passed the GameStop on Jackson Avenue.
Hey, where are the headlights on this thing? I'm in Flash's car.
I'll pull the specs.
Okay, you're on speakerphone.
He still Flash's car. Awesome.
Yeah, it's awesome, it's awesome. Get out of the way, get out of the way, move, move.
Peter, are you okay?
I've never really driven before, only with May in parking lots. This is a huge step up. Hey, have you gone through the Happy yet?
Yeah, I'm working on it. I just gotta backdoor the phone system. Guy in the chair.
Up in 9 minutes. Hello? Hello? Who is this?
Mr. Happy, it's Ned.
Who?
I'm an associate of Peter Parker. He has something very important to tell you.
You gotta be shitting me.
Hey, Ned, how are we going on with those headlights?
Round knob to the left of the steering wheel, turn clockwise.
Left, okay. Okay, perfect. So where's my phone now?
He stopped in an old industrial park in Brooklyn.
What? That makes no sense. I thought he said he was going out of town.
Weird. Oh, I reached Mr. Happy? Don't think he likes it, by the way. It sounded like he was catching a flight. He said something about taking off in 9 minutes.
What?
He was surrounded by a bunch of boxes.
Boxes? It's moving day. It's moving day. It's moving day. He's gonna rob that plane. I gotta stop him.
It's been an honor, Spider-Man.
What are you doing here? There's a dance.
I'm looking at porn.
In a cartoon or movie with a Power Rangers type tone, like the Sam Raimi Spider-Man movies, this type of character would be fine. But this is the MCU, a movie series that has more or less been like the real world, just with actual superheroes and aliens and whatnot. And again, this is a character that goes to a school for the intellectually gifted, so him being this so fucking stupid, as he is shown many times throughout the MCU, is just unacceptable. And to make matters worse, he has no real purpose in these movies other than being Peter Parker's best friend, and an obvious ripoff of Genki from the Miles Morales Spider-Man series. Aunt May in the MCU has absolutely no personality whatsoever. Gone is the elderly grandmother type of character who has been around the block enough to know a thing or two, or who is too pure for this world, and filled with so much love and wisdom that even when Peter is in his 40s or 50s, he still would not have learned every lesson that she has to teach. Instead, we get a woman who is apparently in her 50s, at least according to, Google, but honestly looks like she's in her late 30s at most. The only personality trait that she has is that other characters constantly comment on her being attractive.
Rolling. Yeah, get the frame. Hey, May. How you doing? What are you wearing? Something skimpy, I hope.
How's your aunt?
Yeah, she's all right.
Oye, la tía de una italiana que está buenísima.
I need a new backpack.
That's $5.
Sticky rice pudding.
Well, we didn't order that.
It's on the house.
Oh, thanks. That's nice of him.
I think he largs you.
Evidently, they made her much younger in the MCU because the comic book version of this character, and most versions of the character we've seen, is too old to be Peter's aunt. Fair enough. I have personally been questioning that for years. But there's casting a younger actress to play a character, and then there's stripping a character of any and all personality. The MCU version of Aunt May does not resemble the character Aunt May in the slightest. There is no personality traits that are even remotely similar. Happy Hogan in this movie is tasked with being a sort of mission manager for Peter Parker after Civil War. Despite being the one tasked with receiving updates and whatnot from Peter, making sure that he isn't getting himself killed, Happy is never available to be called on aside from 2 scenes.
mailbox up.
Happy Hogan.
Okay, good. Yes? Yeah, no, put that down. That's worth more than you or me. Yeah.
Happy, the craziest thing just happened to me. These guys were robbing an ATM with these high-tech weapons and
Okay, I don't have time for ATM robberies or the thoughtful notes you leave behind. I have moving day to worry about.
Everything's got to be out of here by next week.
Wait, you're moving? Who's moving?
Yeah, don't you watch the news? Tony sold Avengers Tower or relocating to a new facility upstate where hopefully the cell service is much worse.
Well, what about me?
What about you?
I mean, what if Mrs. Stark needs me or something, or I don't know, something big goes down?
Can I please just talk to Mr. Stark?
Look, just stay away from anything too dangerous. I'm responsible for making sure you're responsible, okay?
I am responsible. Oh, crap. Backpack's gone.
It doesn't sound responsible.
I'll call you back.
Feel free not to.
Up in 9 minutes. Hello? Hello? Who is this?
Mr. Happy, it's Ned.
Who?
I'm an associate of Peter Parker. Got something very important to tell you.
You gotta be shitting me.
Peter has just kind of given these reports in the beginning of the movie, and they make it clear that 2 months have gone by with no kind of confirmation or anything that Happy is even hearing them. Granted, Happy does have other responsibilities than just looking after Peter, but this is still one of his responsibilities. And this is definitely bullcrap that he is stringing along Peter in the manner that he does. Tony Stark is an interesting topic when discussing Spider-Man, as Tony in the MCU, for whatever reason, seems to have a father-son-like dynamic with Peter for no real explained reason. Depending on how you want to count it, Peter and Tony have a total of 10 scenes in the MCU together, for a grand total of, insert number here, minutes of screen time. Peter and Tony have not spent anywhere near enough time together for them to have this type of relationship. They barely know anything about each other. They hardly ever interact. Early on in the movie, Tony tells Peter that the Vulture and his crew are below the Avengers' pay grade, and tells Peter to keep his nose to the ground and not deal with this. He then scolds Peter and takes away his suit for disobeying his orders and was going after the Vulture and his crew, saying, "I did listen, kid." Who do you think called the FBI? There is a possibility that Peter wouldn't have even gotten involved in this had Tony actually told Peter what he planned to do. He's not a soldier. It should have been obvious to everyone that Peter would have continued doing what he was already doing, that Tony told him not to do, when Tony didn't even give any kind of indication that he was going to get the situation handled. Tony in the MCU is built up as though he is Peter's mentor, but he doesn't ever really teach him anything. It's revealed in this movie that the spider suit that Tony gave him has something called the Training Wheels Protocol that presumably would train Peter to be the best Spider-Man he could be. The ultimate Spider-Man, if you will. However, at no point does the Training Wheels Protocol ever really come into play as something that would have actually been done. It seemingly just exists for the sake of Peter feeling insulted that Tony still sees him as a kid. More on the Training Wheels Protocol later.
A 70-centimeter square window.
The skies a bit clearer today, the rain has passed me by. I went and opened up the window again, I can't remember why. The sighs that I kept into the walls have flown out of the room. Soon I'll find my way to you.
I have always